fellow speakers on the dais, Mr. C.K. Misra, Sardar Daljit Singh ji, Mr. Siddharth Bhattacharya ji, Mr. Ashwajit Singh, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. May I begin off by saying that this is an initiative giving awards for excellence in healthcare. This is an initiative that I'm really happy to be associated with, and I'm really happy that I've been called upon here to give the awards away. And being in charge of CSR in a small way as a junior minister in corporate affairs, I know how CSR has developed over the last 7-8 years. The new Act of Companies Act passed by Parliament was only passed in 2013. And CSR activities got underway a couple of years down the line. It wasn't until COVID really affected us as a nation, or the world was affected by COVID, that CSR activities in healthcare began to show results, and positive results at that. And NATHEALTH Healthcare, a company that's been incorporated, or rather a society that's been incorporated only in 2012, has made great strides over the past 10 years. So let me begin off by saying that those who associated with the incorporation of the society, who were its founder members, those who are its former presidents, and those who are its present presidents and office bearers, they must be congratulated on taking up a very important issue regarding health in this country. Maybe they need a little bit of applause. And giving away awards, and this is only the second award, I must also congratulate the jury that has gone into depth to ensure the winners, the runners-up, and so on. They are eminent personalities, both national and international. They are body corporates who were on the jury. There were NGOs, I would think. And all told together, it has come about that this second award will be a benchmark for further awards in the future. I, being a sportsman, I know that if you win the first time around, it's God's gift to you and you become complacent. But if you have to achieve a win through hard work, then you can savor it better. So those that have won awards today, I congratulate them, because the jury was impartial, I believe. And those that have also participated in these 4 verticals, the 63 applicants: health, technology, innovations, community-based health solutions, environmental health, and COVID-19 preparedness and resilience, who have not made the award as yet. Maybe in future years, you will be able to make it so, as long as you keep your hand on the plow. Coming to COVID-19 and the vaccine, I would like to say a couple of things. I don't know about the other 4 districts that NATHEALTH chose in the eastern part of the country, but I do know about Mewat. It happens to be a part of my constituency. It's a minority-dominated district, right in the shadow of Delhi. And when COVID-19 came about, if you recall, there was a seminar of all these religious preachers who came from all across Southeast Asia to deliver lectures on how Islam is to be taken forward. And this seminar was in Delhi. And as there was a bit of a resistance to these teachers coming and preaching a foreign religion in a country which is majoritarian-wise Hindu, the first things that I found in those days was that the media had taken it upon themselves to say that these are the gentlemen who have spread COVID-19 in India. Because this congregation, when they dispersed from Delhi, they went all over the Mewat area and started preaching their religion, which is allowed under the Constitution. What happened thereafter is what you need to know. That amongst all the districts in Haryana where COVID-19 was prevalent, the minimum amount of fatalities, the minimum amount of people who got sick with COVID-19 was in Mewat. So there was this inherent bias which the Mewatis thought was against them. And this win with vaccines, this initiative that has been taken by healthcare, this NATHEALTH Healthcare, I know the positive results of that. And difficult as it was, they have succeeded in ensuring that people in Mewat took this vaccine not only for themselves, but even for their wives and for their 18 years and above children. So this is something that they need to be congratulated about, and I congratulate them because I know this from personal knowledge. If I may digress a little more, every cloud, they say, has a silver lining. Now, COVID-19 affected the world. I don't know where it germinated. I don't know how it spread. If I have an opinion, I'm going to say it. But what I do know is that these 3 years, 19, 20, 21, when COVID was prevalent all over the world, there was a silver lining for India. India, which was earlier considered a third world country, aspiring, but not having reached anywhere, especially financially, we were looked down upon. Today, we are the 4th largest economy in terms of purchasing power parity. But people are not willing to believe it. But what has established India as a superpower, rubbing shoulders with other superpowers, and perhaps going further than them, is the COVID-19 vaccination program. Not only were we able to manufacture enough vaccines for our own population, 95 crore plus injections were given in those 3 or 4 years, but we were able to export it. And we were able to export it to countries which were being pressurized to even sometimes part, not with money, which they possibly didn't have because they were third world countries, but with part of their land holdings. The sovereignty of a country was being exploited by those corporations, and if there's somebody here, maybe I'm wrong, but this is what I have been told. There were certain countries in Latin America, there were certain countries in Africa, where those that held the vaccine and had developed the vaccine, they asked exorbitant price for giving this vaccine to those countries and the poor in those living in those countries. And when you compared that with what India did, at one hand you had people demanding that you give us a parcel of your land, you give us a parcel of your economy, and only then we will give you the vaccine. You will ensure that we are not brought to courts. We will have to give a guarantee that if something happens, we will not be brought to task. India, on the other hand, was supplying these vaccines free of cost. And the image that India has today, I would say, is predominantly because of the works, the social work that India and its corporates and its vaccine manufacturers were able to achieve during those 3 years when COVID was a big cloud on our heads. And so that is the silver lining, I think, predominantly through a partnership between the government and the private healthcare entities. So today, when I stand over here and SDG goals were discussed here, I would say that the goal number 17, this partnership between the private sector and the public sector, has gained dividends for India which probably were not achievable had it not been for COVID-19 having come upon our heads. So I congratulate both the ex-representative of the Health Ministry here and the present representatives of the private sector over here. And I'm told that today, well, it's the year, if I recollect correctly, 21-22. %35.8% of COVID spend was spent upon healthcare, which is a sizable chunk. And as you all probably know better than me, that CSR activities is a board-driven exercise. We have given the liberty to the board to take a decision as to where all they should spend this 2% of their profits over the last year. And possibly because of that, and possibly because 36% of the private sector CSR funding has been spent on healthcare, today India has become a hub, a health center, where people, not only from developing countries, not only people from oil-rich countries, not only people from developed countries who cannot afford and who have not insured themselves adequately, come to India to get treated for various diseases. And this is something that is going to project India's image in the United Nations quite considerably. So in that sense, today, I'd like to wind up by suggesting that this initiative of NATHEALTH Healthcare, second award ceremony, should be continued forward. Possibly those that have not participated, they can be invited to participate. 63 is a large enough number of people who have participated in these 4 verticals. But maybe we can achieve a target of even more for next year around. And as far as the government is concerned, I mean, the government by itself is an entity which people have begun to expect a lot out of. And over the years, we have even said, we'll provide you this, we'll provide you that, we'll provide you this, we'll provide you that in your house, etc., etc. Even give freebies also sometimes. So people have begun to expect a lot more than the government can deliver from out of the limited funds that they have. And the government cannot, and the nation cannot progress unless there is a partnership between the private sector and the public sector for certain fundamentals. Bring the economy up, bring the health up. So these are things that are being addressed today in this meeting of minds. And I thank you all for having called me over here, and I congratulate the winners. And maybe next time, those that have not been able to make the mark, maybe they will be able to make it next time around. Thank you for all your time, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, sir. We really value